Welcome to lecture series on module 4 trusses. The focus of this lecture will be on problem solving. Now if you look at the truss, here we are going to concentrate on the two-dimensional trusses. When I say two-dimensional, each node will have 2 degrees of freedom. It's also called as a plane truss. This is a typical plane truss. You can see here all the joints are named, and the degrees of freedom associated with each node is represented. For example, if you look at the node 1, the node 1 has 2 degrees of freedom, one in x direction, other one is in y direction, and they are named as q1 and q2. Now let me tell you about the numbering scheme, which is very important. Now how do we number the degrees of freedom or the global displacements associated with a node? For example, if you have a node j, which displacement in the x direction is represented by q2j minus 1, and in the y direction it is q2j. It means a single node will have 2 degrees of freedom. That means it's also a node will have 2 displacements in x direction and y direction. Now say for example, this node j is 3. Now this will be the displacement in y direction will be q6, this will be q5. This has to be understood properly. This is the first step in problem solving. Now the second step is the what do you mean by local and global coordinate system? This is a single element of a truss whose nodes are 1 and 2, and the coordinate system is x prime, and this is a local coordinate system. The coordinate system will be in line with the element. Now if you take a global, which is represented by xy, now this is a fixed and common to all the elements in the truss, and here also I have considered one single element having 1 and 2 and having theta. Now what we need to understand here is the relationship between local and the global coordinate system. Now q prime is equal to L into q, where q prime is related to local coordinate system and q is related to global coordinate system. That L is called as the transformation matrix, and that is given by a 2 by 4 matrix and L is equal to cos theta and M is equal to sin theta. They are the direction cosines, and now let us understand how to find out L and M. For that, let me consider a single element having node 1 and 2 and the coordinates x1 y1, x2 y2 and an angle theta. So using trigonometrical rules, you can find out L is nothing but cos theta. So you can find out this formula, and sin theta, this formula, and LE, the length of the element, can be calculated. So this simple trigonometric formula will tell you how to find out L and M. Now if you look at the element stiffness matrix, now here I am not going to get into the derivation part of stiffness matrix, but I will be telling you only about the stiffness matrix. Now this is given by this formula EE, AE, LE, and this is L square LM, LM, M square. So the same thing, it's a 4 by 4 matrix. Why? Because each element will have totally 4 degrees of freedom, that is 2 nodes, each node having 2 degrees of freedom. So it will be 4 by 4 matrix. Now stress in an element, that is given by this formula, and even this can be derived. It's a simple derivation, you can refer to any textbook for that, and this is F is equal to K into Q. So this is the equation that is required to find out the equilibrium equation. Now let us consider the so these are the theoretical aspect related to the truss problem.